Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're doing something a little bit different to what you're used to seeing on this channel. Obviously, as of now, this channel is all about Purple Mango, which is my knit and crochet brand. But today I decided to do something a little bit different, but still within the realm of being creative and cutesy, and I'm also doing my logo, so you know, it fits. So I'm not sure if it is just a current trend in Korea, but right now bead curtains are all the range, and I was already making one anyway, so I thought, why not just record it and do a little tutorial? So that is what this is. In this video I will be telling you how to make your very own bead curtain, and it is very simple once you get the hang of it, so give it a go yourself and yeah, let me know how it works out. Feel free to post them on Instagram and show me. I love to see what you guys create, even if it's not crochet or knit related. So yeah, I think that's it, and enjoy the video. So what we need for this is obviously our beads. These are 8mm beads, and I just counted how many beads I would need for my design, and I made sure I got all of the different colors. You're also going to need a beading needle like this and some nylon string. Make sure it's the right size for your beads, and this is a poster rail, I believe it's called. You can just find them on Amazon. If you type poster rail or banner rail, something like that, you should be able to find them. Obviously I got all my materials in Korea, so if you're not in Korea it probably will not be useful for you, but I will link them below for the people living in Korea so you know what materials I got. So this is the design I chose to do, obviously the classic Purple Mango logo. So I just made this in Procreate and decided on what size I would like to do. You can also just go on the bracelet book, and it has a lot of pixels designs, so you can choose whatever design you want to do. Just make sure you count all of your squares properly so you're making it the right size. So here's a little closer look at the beads I got. They're just acrylic beads, and as I said, they are 8mm. You can use any size you want, but I just find this size is the best, like it looks the best, so that's what I would recommend for you to get. And if you do get a smaller size, you have to take that into consideration with your calculations too. So here I am just counting how many beads I will need for the length and the width of my design. Obviously I have done this before because that's how I knew how many beads I needed, but this is just showing you how I did it. So I ended up with 37 for the length and the width because it is a square. So what you want to do is, the beads, remember, are 8mm, so you need to times 37 by 8, and that gives me 296, sorry. So that's almost 30 centimeters. So that shows me that my poster rail should be 30 centimeters. And how we're gonna do the nylon string is it's gonna be doubled. So you're gonna be putting the bead on 2 strings, if that makes sense. So you want the string to be double the length that you need it. But also I would recommend adding a few more centimeters because you have to make a knot at the top to make sure the beads don't come off. So for me, I will probably be making this around like 65 centimeters, just so I know I have enough length to tie the knot at the top as well. So this is the needle that I'm using, and I cannot stress enough how much you need a bead needle. So I did struggle a little bit to open this, but it basically opens in the middle and you can just put your strings inside of the needle. So that makes it so much easier to get the beads on the string. So for the very first bead, the one at the bottom, we are just going to put it on to 1 string at the moment, and you're going to move that bead into the middle of your string. like so. So you can see that it just sits in the middle, and then you are going to thread the other end of the string into the needle.
Hi, Hazel.
And once you have done that, you can just go ahead and put all of your beads that you need for the first row onto the needle and onto the string. For the first row, for me, it is just all pink, so it's very easy, not much counting to do. Another thing I cannot stress enough is make sure you are counting all of your beads to make sure that you have the right amount, because when you've put all the beads on and then you've tied a knot and then you try and put it on the poster rod and you realize it's too short or too long. I've done that many times, and let me tell you, it is the most frustrating thing. So make sure you are counting your beads accurately so everything lines up properly. So this is my first row, and what I have to do now is just tie the two ends together into a knot. Now when you're making the knot, you want to make sure you are pulling it quite tight but not too tight. If you don't do it tight enough, there's going to be a gap between the rod and the beads, and if you are pulling others more tighter than others then they're going to sit differently. But if you pull it too tight, then it's going to be too stiff and they're just going to like not sit correctly. So you just want to kind of figure out what the correct tightness is. And obviously I'm struggling here because of my nails, so I don't recommend doing this with long nails. But yeah, you just want to make some knots at the end of your beads. So I've just tied 3 or 4 knots at the end of my beads. And if you've used nylon string, which is often used for jewelry, what you can do is you can just cut the string quite short and then use a lighter to just singe the ends to make sure it doesn't come undone. Sorry for the random jump cut, but I realized I forgot to explain something in the other video. So this is another bead curtain I'm very slowly working on. I wonder if you can see what character it is. Now, I forgot to explain the curtain, like rod, poster rod, should I say, in more detail. So this is what it looks like. This is the top where you put the clips so you can hang it up. And then this big one, the bottom, is where you put your beads into. So the reason you want 8mm is because that is the beads that fit the best into this hole. So you basically just take the finished string and you just pop it on, and then you can just pull it down. This will depend on what exact rod that you're using, but there should be a stopper on the end, and there should also be another stopper that you can put on this end. So that is basically the poster rod. Very simple. You just put everything on and then you can close up and it's done. And I also learned from my first time making it, it is good to have little dishes where you can put your beads, because with my other one I was just kind of like scrambling, dropping beads, blah blah blah. So it is better if you have little dishes to put your beads. So yeah, let's get back into the main video. So this is what it's looking like so far. I have just completed 3 pink rows. My first couple of rows are just pink, so nothing special to do here. And I find it easier to cross off the rows that I am doing while I am going. And now I'm going to start my first row where I change colours. So I just started the row as normal. I put my first pink beads on, and then you will notice that I have 3 purple beads. So I'm just going to grab my purple beads, and literally there is nothing special. You just put them on the exact same way. I'm not sure what other way you'd be able to do it, but yeah, you just change color, just change the bead color when you need to change it, and it's as simple as that. So I just added the 3 beads and then I will change back to pink.
And as I said, it is so much easier if you are recording how many beads you need to use. So here you can see I counted 5 and then I counted 9 for the rest of the pink beads. And that just helps me keep track of everything. You can also print it out and write on a piece of paper how many beads you would need, so you don't have to be staring at a screen. I just prefer using my iPad and using Procreate to do it, but whatever works for you as long as you are counting correctly. So again, I have just finished my string and I am going to tie a few knots onto the end. Make sure it is tight enough. Then you can just pop your finished row onto your poster rod, and it's so much more exciting when you finally get some colour on there because you can see it slowly coming together. So this is just a little update. I've done quite a few rows. I'm basically just doing the exact same thing as I am going along, so you just want to continue doing that. So at this point I am close to finishing all of my rows. I'm just going along and doing the same thing. This is quite therapeutic to just not really concentrate and, you know, just zone out and do something. I really recommend that if you're looking for like kind of like a cozy little thing to do. And as I said, if you go on braceletbook.com, I think it is, you can find lots of different pixel patterns, and you can also find them on Pinterest. You just need to make sure that they're going to be the right size for whatever pole you are planning on ordering. But yeah, you can also obviously design your own like I have here. That was also really fun because then it's like one of a kind. But yeah, that's basically it. I'm just going along and doing the exact same thing, nothing much else to tell you. I will come back and show you when I am almost done. So I don't really know what this video is. I think it's just me getting very, very silently angry about the fact that I didn't order enough pink beads. So make sure you order the right amount of beads. So I got my new beads and there are just a few more rows to do before I am finished. It is looking so cute so far, so excited to get it done and finished. And this is why it's important to count your rows properly, because I have done one less bead and it's just very frustrating to have to do the row again. So I finally finished my last row and I'm just putting the stopper on that I told you about earlier. And I think all in all, it probably took me about 6 or 7 hours. I'm not really sure because I took quite a big break when I was ordering more beads. But obviously, if you're doing a bigger design, it's going to take you longer. But, you know, you can just take it slow and do it when you have time. And it's just a fun little thing to do. And then you have this cute thing at the end. You know, perfect little craft. So this is what it turned out like. I think it is so cute and it just fits my studio perfectly. I ended up taking off the little hooks because I just used command strips to stick it to my wardrobe. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video and thank you for watching.
Everybody was kung fu fighting, fast as lightning. It was a little bit frightening. I'm 28. I'm 28 years old.